this live show. I can see that one person has joined already. So officially, we are starting this live show. Like the topic says, we are going with this live show, with the help of God, we are going to be talking about how you can become a UK registered nurse currently. Also, if you're looking forward to using the self-sponsorship route, we will give you a lot of tips on how you can prepare for your Osce examination. It's going to be a very lovely one, and we are here prepared for you. We are going to do our best. Within the course of this show, we'll be taking your questions as well. So if you have questions, you can use the comment section. I have a phone here that we used to check through, and then we'll make sure that we take your questions and give you detailed response on it. If you are in already, please post it on your social media handles. Tell them that we are live. So anyone who is interested in becoming a UK registered nurse can join online. I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this with my very good long time paddy, bestie, anything you want to call it. So Nurse Debbie is on here. We are both UK registered nurses. We came in from Nigeria and we did all the exams. And that's what we're going to be taking you through that journey today. And hopefully at the end of this show, a lot of questions will be imparted and you'll be able to get an idea of what it is like. About 2 days ago, I got a message from someone and she was like, is it easy to pass Osce at once? Or the word she used was, is it possible to pass Osce exam at once? I said, what do you mean? It sounded weird because I passed Osce exam at once. Debbie passed Osce exam at once. Many persons passed Osce exam. So I don't know the pictures that many persons have painted in your mind, but we are here to tell you that Osce exam is not as complex as you think it is. Even IELTS to an extent could be more, it's not like to an extent, it's more complex than Osce. Osce is for nurses, okay? So if you've done a nursing training or you are planning to do a nursing training, Osce should not scare you at all. Before we go further, my name is Victory Nkuka. If you are meeting me for the very first time, and with this YouTube channel, I share lots about immigration updates, visa sponsorship though that can help you relocate overseas with ease. With this channel, I also share about UK immigration and visas updates you need to know about to stay informed. If you are not subscribed yet to this channel, what are you waiting for? Tap on that subscribe button to join this community so that you can be enlightened and be notified each time we upload any video that will guide you or anyone you know. Before we go further, like this video, give it a thumbs up because you're certainly going to get value from it. And you can share the link with your friends or loved one, anyone you know will partake from it and do join in as well. I will want Nurse Debbie to introduce herself to us before we dive right into the details of the video.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, good to see everyone today again. My name is Nurse Debbie. I'm a registered nurse practicing in the UK. And today we are basically going to be talking about the major things concerning the Osce exam, which is necessary to become a registered nurse and practice effectively as a nurse.
Okay. So I'm just going to send on my platforms that we are live. I'll just give me 1 minute to do that, to just inform them that we are live so that those who want to join in can do that. Yeah, you can do the same as well for everyone. You have your phone, send them that we are live. Most of the questions will be answered live. But if you still join after this session is over, you don't feel free to ask your question as well. We try to attend to it, but priority will be given to all who is answering their questions, who is going to be asking their questions live. So first of all, if you want to become a UK registered nurse in 2024, it's still very possible. You need to get your Nigerian passports is the first thing you need to do. Nigeria international passports. If you're in Nigeria, get a Nigerian passport. If you're in Ghana, get a Ghana passport. If you're in Bangladesh, India, or any part of the country you are, you need to get an international passport if you wish to migrate to the United Kingdom. Even though it's to the US or Canada, you need an international passport. Now, specifically for the UK, after you get your international passport, you need to pay £140 to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of the United Kingdom. So this is the body that governs the practice of nursing in UK. So you need to pay it as a registration fee first, and then begin your verification process. So you can do your verification process if, for instance, we came from Nigeria, and yeah, they had to reach out to Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to verify if we were nurses there because we were trained here. I am
Mm.
Debbie. We attended university, then say hi. And we were really study partners even while we were in school, not just friends. We studied a lot. So that's why I single handedly picked Debbie, because I know that she has a way of breaking things down for you to understand. At the best of, yeah, she's very good with that. You will attest when we are done with this. So when you need to get that international passport, register with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of UK. After that, begin verification with your Nursing and Midwifery Council. After you do the verification with your Nursing and Midwifery Council, the next thing, they will send you a link, and with that link, you can register for your CBT exams. To become a UK registered nurse, you need to do 3 exams. If I'm too fast, let me know. If you think my pace is too fast, let me know so I can slow down. You need to do 3 exams. The first exam is the CBT, which I was, for me, you can do any of them in no particular order, but the last one you need to do is the OSCE. For
Mm.
me, I did my CBT first. So that's the test of competence. You can do it from anywhere you are. You can do it from your home country. Then your IELTS or OET. It's just a proof of your that you could speak English. Any of them. For IELTS, you need a general band score of band 7 for your IELTS exam. I know of a very I know of a very good thing that can train you to pass IELTS. We all know that the price of IELTS has skyrocketed now. To
Uh,
get to write an IELTS exam is not cheap anymore. So
yeah.
it's not an exam that you want to be writing over and over again. We have
Uh,
a team that can prepare you well for IELTS. Is the Express Med Global Services. If you need to know more within the course of this video, we'll talk much about them as well. Yeah, so they can prepare you for that IELTS for you to clear it. So you need to write your CBT, just a recap, your IELTS. Now, the OSCE, most people know about CBT and IELTS and how
mm.
to prepare for it, how to go about it. But I've been getting a lot of questions on OSCE. Some people was like, I didn't even have any group to join for me to know what OSCE is like. So we are going to be doing lots of justice on how you can prepare for your OSCE. It's after you've passed these 3 examination that you'll be able to get into the register as a UK registered nurse. I want Nurse Debbie to do justice on the OSCE part. So let's talk extensively on OSCE. Then at the end of that, we can still relate more on other things you will need in this journey of becoming a UK registered nurse. So we start wasting much time. I'm going to open the floor for my able teacher, senior friend in this state.
Ah,
Yeah, so Debbie, please, can you just enlighten us on what OSCE is for some of us that don't even have an idea of what OSCE is? Just enlighten us, please.
so uh, OSCE is the objective structured clinical examination, and it is the part 2 test of competency for the NMC to become a registered nurse in the UK. Just like as Victory rightly mentioned, CBT is the first part, CBT the computer-based test. Now the OSCE, you are going to be carrying out the practical procedure in the presence of an assessor, and you're going to be having actors that will act like patients. So practically, the OSCE, we have 10 stations. The OSCE, and we also have approved centers because you will not just go and write your OSCE exam anywhere in the UK. There are basically 5 approved centers, and I'm going to talk about that as well. So now I'm talking the OSCE, the 10 station. We have I'll talk about the first 4. I basically classify them together, which is the API, because one comes after the other. And the API, the first A is the assessment station, the P is the planning, the I is the implementation, and the E is the evaluation. Now,
Evaluation.
in the assessment station, you will be given a scenario, and you can be given a live actor that will act as the patient. It can be on different kind of condition. We have cardiovascular, we have respiratory, we have mental health disorder. But in the case where you're given a mannequin, your
Okay.
is going to be the one that is going to respond. And one thing you must ensure when you're practicing for your OSCE, make sure you are guided with your marking criteria. Whatever you're reading, whatever video you're watching, ensure you are using your marking criteria, because that is what you will be assessed with. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to say, okay, I know this thing this person is doing for my head. No, your assessor is going to be assessing you based on the marking criteria. Now, for the assessment station, just like I mentioned, you'll be given a live actor or it can be a mannequin, and your assessor is going to respond. And you are assessing this patient. You are knowing their past medical history, their social history, their allergies. Then
Mm-hmm.
in that assessment station, there's something that is very key. You are going to ensure you can get two key nursing problem of this patient, because you are going to be using it in the planning station. And you are going in the planning station, the two nursing problem you are going to be addressing are the two problems that are of utmost priority to the patient. That's for the planning station. Then for the implementation, you are going to be administering your medications. So one thing I love about the implementation um, station in Osce is that when you come into the hospital in the actual setting, these things are going to guide you. Because when you want to give your medication, you are going to ask the patient, can you confirm your full name and date of birth for me? Can you also tell me your allergy status? This is something you are going to be doing as a registered nurse in the UK. So you see, this practice, this exam is actually going to guide your practice in the UK. So that's for the implementation station. Then we have the EID, that's the evaluation station. Now, in the evaluation station, what you are basically doing, you are handing over this patient that you've assessed, you've planned for, you've done your implementation and giving medication. Now you are handing over this patient. It can be to the next staff taking over the next shift. Probably the patient was referred. You are going to also hand over the patient, and that's what the evaluation station I've talked about
Yeah.
4 and 10. So we also have procedure station. We have the written station. We also have the station that you are going to carry out this procedure. Now, and
Yeah.
sometimes it comes in pair. Like if it comes in pair, you are going to do one, then the next one, and you are done. You've automatically done two stations. Like I'll take for example wound assessment. If you do wound assessment as a skill, one of the skill station, immediately you are going to be doing wound dressing using the aseptic non-touch techniques. So you see, that's why I said it is paired. And we also have a lot of other stations, but always ensure that when you are practicing and when you are reading, make sure you use your marking criteria. Your
Thank
marking
you.
is very, very necessary. So I've talked about, so you are going to have 4 skill station, and the last two we have the professional values and the evidence-based practice. Now, for the professional value station, what they are going to be assessed, they are going to give you an incident. Okay, an incident happened. So the professional value, they want to see how professional you are in handling this case. How you are
Yeah.
going to be how you are going to be as a registered nurse, you are going to be guided by the NMC code of conduct. So it is that
Definitely.
that is where the professional values they are coming in. And we have you are going to then they are going to test your professional values, your confidentiality, integrity. So that's for the professional value. And then we have the evidence-based practice, just as it sounds evidence-based. Evidence-based, they're going to give you a research finding, and what they want from you is to summarize these research findings. And it sorry, I forgot to mention, in the professional values, you are going to be highlighting your points, bullet points. You're not going
Yeah.
to be talking about too much stories, it's just bullet points that you're going to be using. And same thing with the evidence-based practice. So you're going to be using bullet points to summarize these research findings. And lastly, you're going to talk about what is the relevance of this research findings to your nursing practice. And with that, you've completed your 10 stations. And note, the OSCE, you don't necessarily have to start with API. Yeah, I think when I started with a skill station, yeah, I started
I
with, I
was,
think,
I was coming to that.
yeah, I started with
Mm.
I think I started with intramuscular injection. So sometimes some person will say, oh, it's going to start from API. So don't fix your mind there. Just learn, practice, and don't forget your marking criteria. Definitely, if you are going to be sponsored, it means your employers, they are going to bring you over to the UK. They are going to give you OSCE training in boot camps, and they are also going to uh, pay for the OSCE exam for you. Definitely in your boot camp, everything they are going to be teaching you will be based on your marking criteria. I think a friend of mine was telling me that when they were preparing for their exam, that they practically were marking criteria. I was like, what do you mean? She said they read the marking criteria that if someone said something wrong and somebody else corrects that person, when you are going back to the marking criteria, is the same thing that is in the marking criteria. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Yeah, we are always
Mhm.
yes, good and fine. You won't say, oh, this is how they give intramuscular injection in my country. That's not the practice.
No,
Why they
that's
have
not.
yeah, that's why they have a guide is because they want to ensure you are practicing in line with what they have if they've had. They don't want you to say, oh, this is how it's been. If not, we are all coming from different places. Someone is saying, oh, this is how they do it in my country. The other person is saying, this is how they do it in my country. That's not what they want. So that's why they have a guide. And when you come to the clinical areas, when you start practicing after you've passed your OSCE, you've gotten your PIN and you start practicing as a registered nurse, you are going to be using these things you've learned in your practice. I don't know if you, I believe everyone understand what I mean. So that's for the 10 station. And also, I'm going to be talking about the 5 approved centers in the UK. We have
Okay, before we talk about fiber approved center,
uh,
I want to thank you so much, Nurse Debbie. I told you guys that Nurse Debbie is very good. We did the same exam, but the way she's really breaking it down, eh? Yeah, I know it has always been a specialty, right? From time we've known each other for closely 8 years now.
wow.
Yeah, so I know what I'm saying. So why to drive this part home, I'm going to be sharing my experience with the OSCE exam, and she's gonna share her experience with the OSCE exam. We'll still share our experience why we were preparing for OSCE, things that really helped us. So on the OSCE exam, it was coming from Nigeria, and I've done some OSCE exams for midwifery, for nursing by God's grace. I'm a Nigeria registered nurse, Nigeria registered midwife, Nigeria registered public health, no, West African registered public health nurse. And I also have my bachelor in nursing degree. So we did the course of these 4 certifications. I have course of doing OSCE exams. So I was like, is it not that one? So one of the exams they used to do in my school in Uniben then was if we have OSCE, we have like 10 different lecturers. So you go from one station, after that, you go to the next one, then some other are written stations. But in OSCE exam, in this NMC OSCE exam, it was just one room. You do 10 stations in one room. So it was like it was a shocker somehow to me. Even during my training, they didn't tell me that it's gonna be like that. What they said was that you are going to do 10 stations, but they forgot to mention that part that is one room. Oh. So this is how it works. I went into immediately they just introduced me to my assessor. It was only one person that assessed me for 10 station. So she said, oh, and then I was actually pregnant. So she was like, oh, Hannah, are you okay? She offered me drink. She did that. Offered me drink, offered me snack. And I already had a strategy that to get more break for myself, I'll tell them I want to do a wee. And it was very acceptable because I was pregnant. So they thought it was this, oh, it's the little one. Don't worry, you can go and do a wee. It's the little one. But me, I was having as much break as I wanted. You don't
Yeah.
need to be pregnant to have such break as well. That's what one of my trainer told me. He said, make sure if you were able to if you want to have a rest, take a break, go for toilet break so you can you're not going there to cheat, to do my practice, just for you to just rearrange yourself.
Yeah.
And somehow, when she started, she introduced, I did the first station, and with the idea of what Debbie said, that the skill stations are paired. So,
Mm,
for instance, what they gave me was peak flow. So, when I saw peak flow, I knew that the next one, the pair that goes along with peak flow, is going to be something relating to breathing. And I was preparing my mind that one of the assessment, planning, and implementation scenario for the life actor they will give to me is something relating to asthma. So
yeah.
when they did the peak flow, in my mind, I just started rehearsing. Like there is you cram marking criteria. You cram it, you get used to it. That when you sleep and wake up, even my husband got tired of me. He said you will start every time reaching, you're always doing palm to palm, left palm over right dorsal, fingers interlace, fingers interlock. 7 steps of hand hygiene. So
Yeah.
it becomes used to you the more you do it. So in essence, it was one room I did the 10 stations. When you are done with one, you come out, you have a break, they reset the room, then you enter for your second procedure. When you are done with the second procedure, you come out again, they reset the room. So the skill stations they gave me was peak flow. Then the second one was inhaled medication, administration of inhaled medication. Then after that, they asked me to do a writing station. So I did this flute something. Then they asked me to flush a fluid intravenous injection. So
No.
the mannequin was there, and they said the it got blocked, thrombosed. So I needed to flush. So that was the fourth station I did. After that, I went over to my assessment, planning, implementation, which was good as well. So I did my assessment for 20 minutes. The assessment was somebody, I told you, I anticipated that it's going to be a breathing condition because they gave me peak flow. All
Mhm.
those things are actually related. You can predict when you start, you predict what the next one will be. So they gave me somebody to assess that was breathing and the like. Then something happened on my OSCE exam, which I want to share. They gave me a monitor that I've never used in my life. All through my practice I practiced up to 3 years before I relocated overseas. I've never used that. The training I did, although it was just like a touch-up training, I did not use, so I don't even know how to use the machine. But that's one thing you need to learn from this. You have to be bold, and you have to, before they start your time, they will always ask you, so if are you happy to start? They'll with their nice touch of English. They'll say, we ask you things like, are you happy now? So what I did was when they asked me, are you happy? I was ready for them. I said, I'm happy to start. I know what to do. However, I'm not used to this machine. Somebody will say, hey, they will fail her. No, they don't fail you. That's the difference between the system here and the system back home. If it's the system back home, I know one of my lecturer in school that will yell, insult you. I don't want to mention her name. Debbie's laughing. He knows the lecturer. She will really call you a trash if you say you don't know it. But
Yeah.
she just said, okay, she took 1 or 2 minutes to explain how to use the machine before I started. If not, I would have failed that station. And I learned this from one of my trainers who really highlighted that when you before you start, look around, look at the equipment. If there's anything you are not familiar with, let them know. OSCE is very easy to pass. It's actually very easy to pass. You prepare, then when you get there, you can always maneuver. Somebody said Joy Marcus something. Are you from Univen? He said, we know her. Mention the name. Please don't mention the name. Please. You're from Univen, don't mention the name. Thank you. Let's keep the live let's keep the live stream going. So that's it. It did nothing happened. Nothing happened actually. Nothing happened on your yeah. So I was able to do this station and I passed. That was the only station I found something that was not comfortable with. So I found 3 stations that they just found, oh, this one, I'm not so used to this. There is a difference between you know what to do and it's just a different machine than you know. But
Yeah.
if, for instance, you see the peak flow meter, you're asking them for something that they won't answer you. You need to know the basic ones that must be there. Okay? You need to know this and you need to practice with it. So that was my lot. Then my evidence-based station and professional value was just one of those in the marking scheme. The good thing about OSCE is that they are not going to ask you anything that is outside the marking scheme. That's
Yeah.
why it's more easy to pass than the one you do. If you have ever passed nursing and midwifery council exam of Nigeria, you've passed. What is OSCE that you cannot pass? In OSCE, United Kingdom, they give you a lot. They just give you this is the marking criteria. It may just be how many pages. If you read everything there, one of the questions will come up. Like it's not like one. All the questions will be there. It's just that you need to read everything so that you know because you don't know which of them they will ask you, but you are very certain that when you read it, the question will be there. I've written exams back home, nothing exam that even when you finish reading 2 textbooks, the question did not come out from there. If you can attest to it, say something in the comment section. Then we know it was a pharmacology exam we wrote in 400 level. We read our notes and the exam. Well, I even doubt if the lecturer that said that question could write it. So please, guys, dispel that doubt. The people here are not as tight, as not as strict, or as wicked in itself, in quotes, as some of the people you've written exams before under. So it's not something that you cannot pass. That's my own OSCE experience, and I passed as first attempt. Glory to God. Debbie, how was your OSCE experience? And yeah, share with us a little bit.
Okay, I think there, yeah, for the pest station, I had a I think I had a written station, pain assessment. Yeah,
Okay.
I had a written station.
Wow, you have pain assessment.
Yeah, I had pain assessment. So, and one thing you must know is in Osce, don't just think, I don't know how to really say, but just make sure when you are in that hall writing that exam, and place your mind like you are actually in the hospital setting.
1 minute, I'm just going to take note of some things I want to mention so I don't forget when Debbie's done. Carry on, Lord.
Okay, so it's just like you are going to meet this patient and you want to carry out a procedure. See it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just ignore the fact that your assessor is there, and be audible. Yeah, it is next. I think when I did my they usually conduct like a mock exam. Yeah, they usually conduct like a mock exam. I think that's one thing the assessors kept on emphasizing to us on the main exam. Make sure you are always be audible. Make sure your assessor can hear what you are saying, because later on after the exam, nobody's going to come and call you and say, oh, what did you say in that station? Make sure you are audible. Let your assessor hear what you are saying. That is also something that is really very necessary. And as much as possible, you have to be calm.
And outside the assessor, there's another camera that is videoing so that
Yeah,
if in case you are requesting for a
yeah,
remark,
yeah,
somebody else has to remark it. So if
yeah,
you're not audible, it's put time.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you very much for that. So make sure your assessor can hear you. And just like she said, you have to be guided with your marking criteria when you are practicing. Don't anything outside of the marking criteria, whatever video or whoever is doing that before the main exam, probably when you are practicing and someone is acting as an assessor, or because you're going to come, if when you go on YouTube, there are going to be a lot of videos. But make sure when you are watching these videos, make sure you have your marking criteria. Whatever is not in the marking criteria, you shouldn't go with it, because just like I said, your assessor is going to be, that's what you are going to be. Yeah,
Marking criteria.
or you are going to be assessed with. Make sure you are guided with your marking criteria. It is very necessary. And just like I was saying before, when you are in the hall, you are acting like you are actually in the hospital setting. Don't just feel, oh, it's just to go and do this thing and just come out now. No, just see that, oh, let me say, Mr. James paracetamol injection, I have to go and give it to him now. So when you are you just going to meet Mr. James and tell him, are you just going there and just say, oh yeah, Mr. James, turn, I want to give you an injection? No. So you're going to introduce yourself, tell Mr. James who you are, your position in the hospital.
For instance,
I'm a,
Debbie, help us. For instance,
oh, it's just you go there. Oh, good morning. I'm Nurse Debbie. You have to introduce yourself. Because once the patient know that you are a nurse, definitely, and of course you definitely have your ID badge, and the patient knows that, oh, you are a nurse. Then the patient introduce him or herself, tell you their name, tell you their date of birth as well. So you're going to tell Mr. James, I'm here to give you your paracetamol injection due for, if it's 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, whatever time that is due for, you tell the patient about it. Tell him the importance of the paracetamol, what are the side effects. Those things are also necessary. Just like as I was saying, you have to act like you are actually in the hospital setting and you are with an actual patient. It is not just thinking, just when you enter the hall, just especially when you have practical station, just tell yourself you are going to you have entered the hospital, you are going to do something for a patient. Be audible and just do your best. Practice with your marking criteria. Practice, because the exam is actually very expensive. It's actually
mm,
£794.
yeah.
700. So think of the money and do the conversion in your head. So you that's why you have to. I remember when I was practicing, and some persons were like, then it's been a long time I saw your post. It's been a long I had for you. Take all your time, take the necessary time, because it is necessary you pass. It's either you pass or you
Or
pass.
you pass.
Exactly. There's no two ways about
We don't permit you to fail.
pass.
We
Exactly.
don't permit you.
Yeah,
You're not permitted to fail. You need
ex-
to understand that. You're
exactly.
not permitted to fail. It's either you
You
pass
pass or
or
you.
you pass.
So make sure when you are practicing, put that in your head. It's either I pass or I pass. There's no two ways about it. There's nothing else about it. And don't get that mentality of anyhow, let me just go and do. Don't do go there with anyhow mentality. It's not this kind of exam. £794 is a lot of money. So you have to give it your best. I was telling someone that the way I've read for exams, I've never read like that when I was practicing for my exam. That's why I said you have to give it your best. You have to give it your best. Trust God, pray, read, pray. That's the basic thing, and be guided with your marking criteria. Don't forget. That's why I've been emphasizing the marking criteria. I have been emphasizing in my boot camp. They every day they kept on telling us your marking criteria. You are practicing your marking. Remember what is in your marking criteria, not what somebody said, not what you watched in one video. Even when they taught us, they used the marking criteria as well. They had the marking criteria, and they were demonstrating the procedures to us. That's why I'm emphasizing on the marking criteria. There are some persons that are coming through. I've seen people come through self-sponsorship route, and
Mm.
they passed at first attempt. People prepared on their own, and they passed at first attempt. So imagine somebody that prepared and passed at first attempt, and you that you're getting the necessary training. That's what I'm saying. Come with that mentality is that of is either I pass or I pass.
Definitely.
That's the
Oh,
mentality.
okay. Now, Debbie has mentioned something that, frankly, we have an outline for this, but I'm more focused to helping you get as much information as intended than trying to follow an outline and just do it. So Debbie mentioned something about preparation. So we've passed Osce exam. We'll just in few minutes tell you how we prepared for Osce exam. Now, for instance, there are different ways you can come into the UK to write your Osce exam. You can be sponsored to the UK to work as a nurse, working from a care home, or working with the NHS, or self-sponsorship route. Now, briefly, working in the care home, a private employer can bring you to UK with lovely relocation benefits, okay, which is not as common as it were. We're still going to talk about that in the latter part of this video, why it's not common and what people are doing now. Yeah, so that's one part of it. Another part is you came with the NHS. Another part is came with self-sponsorship. I'm going to dwell more about working with a care home. By God's grace, I got a sponsorship to come into the UK to get back through a care home. And that it was one of the best care homes in the United Kingdom. However, they don't do OSCE preparation in depth as they do in the NHS. Debbie benefited from boot camp. Debbie benefited from boot camp. So NHS gives you this boot camp training. Even the first month, if you have not passed your OSCE, you don't really do active work in the NHS and they pay you. In my care home, if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. My first pay in the United Kingdom was £83. You cannot believe. All because for a full month. They just calculate the only time I
Wow.
came.
Wow.
The time you sat at home reading, you on your own. They paid me 83. But probably like them, while doing boot camp, we still got her full pay.
Yeah.
It's not it's the NHS. That's one of the advantages of NHS. Care home pays better, but when it comes to some of this benefit, NHS is just the best. NHS is it. So another step that you can use to come either into a care home or through NHS is through self-sponsorship. Now it's in self-sponsorship route. You do everything we've done, but you prepare for your exams, you pay for it. Like for me, I didn't pay for my OSCE because my company paid for it. Debbie did not pay for her OSCE. You have the NHS paid for it. My company only told me if you fail, you have to pay back with your money. But for the first attempt, I said no, who will pay? I saw you are giving me free 700 and something, but I will not fail on it. Who does that now? We cannot fail. Like Debbie said, it's either you pass or you pass. So that's how we did not. That's why I did all my best to prepare. So the self sponsorship route is the one that no, you've tried applying, you've done everything, but nobody is even bringing you to the UK to say, I want to pay for you. The step that's what most persons are doing now. You you plan 700 and something, you say, or you borrow from someone. It's still worth it if you borrow. You have someone to borrow you on a basis that when you become a UK registered nurse, you pay 700 and something pounds will be nothing to you when you become a nurse, UK registered nurse. In a couple of months, you're going to pay it, frankly. You will. So it's just the first bit. So if you get that amount, you come into the UK. But the challenge is who prepares you.
Yeah.
So one of the ways you can prepare is using these tips we've shared with you and much more. There's a team I'm going to refer you to. Is the Express Med Global Services. If you are not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Tap on that subscribe button so you can join my community because within the course of the week, I'm going to post this weekend now, right? Okay, within the course of next week or this weekend. I'm working tomorrow, so I'm not sure about tomorrow. But Sunday, I'm gonna post a link on my community page on YouTube. It's only those who are subscribed that will see it, unfortunately. And it doesn't cost to subscribe. You can just tap on the subscribe button, like this video, so that YouTube can recommend that to you when I post it as well. That's the advantage of liking a video. So if you don't like, make sure you like the video. So I'm going to post the flyer, and the necessary links will be attached to the description of this video as well. So look at it, join them. The next class, there's already a class going on for OSCE preparation. And the CEO is an assessor, is an OSCE assessor himself. So he's going to assess you one to one before you go for your exam. So if you are back in Nigeria or Ghana or wherever you're watching this video from, you can start preparing for OSCE right from the comfort of your home. That's good news. So the training is 50,000 naira in Nigerian currency, $50 if you are not in Nigeria. But I've pleaded with him. So he's saying that for anyone who will be coming through me, by virtue of you watching this video and you are interested in starting your OSCE, you are going to pay just 30,000 naira or $30 equivalent. So it's 20,000 naira off for you. So if you are interested, I will encourage you to do that. Even though you feel you're still going to get a trust, it's not a bad idea having idea of what OSCE is face to face. You are doing it online, and then when you come over to the UK, you have the opportunity of doing face to face with him as well. So I'm going to leave that link. So for me, preparation for OSCE in a care home, I did. It wasn't so easy, oh. And I'm not I added to my, it's not, it was it added trouble. No, I won't call it a trouble. Pregnancy is a blessing. I was pregnant, preparing for OSCE, and in the care home, you work as a carer. You are doing the hoisting. It's a very heavy duty.
Yeah.
Doing that, there was no leave for me to prepare for my exam, so I had to start preparing for my exam doing my off days. And the off days, after you've done the 12-hour shift, your off day, you will know that it's actually an off day to sleep. But I had to still beyond my limitations. So I tried preparing, and one of those things that helped me was I had a reading partner. So in this game, a reading partner is very, very, very essential, because with the reading partner, we can say, okay, I have a marking scheme in front of me now. So I'm gonna pick one, for instance. If I say I'm doing aseptic non-touch technique, and I'm trying to mimic, I have somebody there, I'm going to be practicalizing it and saying, okay, clean hands with alcohol rubs, the 7 steps of hand hygiene. There, the reading partner will listen to me or through video, watch me, see what I'm doing, and say, no, Victory, you did 6 steps, you did not do 7 steps. So that's the advantage of having a reading partner. God bless Anu Oluwa for seeing me. That was my reading partner while I was preparing for my OSCE in the United Kingdom. We wrote OSCE almost at the same time, and our center was the Northampton Center. Debbie is still going to tell you about the different centers in UK. Forget all the story. They will tell you one center is difficult, the other one, there is nothing like that. Prepare very well, and you will ace it regardless of the center. The hardest center is the center where Debbie passed for. The center Debbie says is the hardest center. She passed her first attempt. So what? So you just need to prepare. So that's the advantage of a reading partner. And there's one principle that has worked for me for years. For those of you who know me, I'm quite good academically. And that principle is the principle that good preparation will always chase out fear. So
Yeah.
when I came into the UK and I was asking someone how, then I got a colleague that was always after my back. What's is difficult, difficult, difficult. Oh my! I started avoiding that lady. Because each time she sees me, she wants to put fear. I said, no, I'm just going to avoid this one. I said, God has not given me the spirit of fear, but that spirit of a sound mind. So I'm not going to be scared of this. Then another one now told me that so if you are in NHS, it's easy to pass. So if you are in care home, I failed though. But I got it at the second attempt or third attempt, luckily for her. So I not see me, I was not the one that made the mistake. And I said, I'm even struggling, I'm pregnant. He said, you are not pregnant on top. You know that type of thing. She just started discouraging me. But I took it as a challenge. I said, I'm not gonna ring her, I'm gonna ring her when I pass. So I took it as a challenge to study hard. And at some point, I became so confident. The day I wrote my OSCE, I traveled that same day to the center. That only then about confidence. We want to, 2 days. I don't want to be anxious. I didn't even care if there would be anything because I was quite confident. One, I've studied. Two, I've prayed. And I trust, and it really went well. It really went well. There's nothing like studying. And if you're a believer, you have faith. Why don't you mix both? It's a very wonderful combination that cannot be resisted. So that's one of those things that help me prepare for OSCE. I will leave the floor for Debbie to talk about how she prepared for our OSCE as well. Then she's going to tell you about the centers that do OSCE in the United Kingdom. For instance, if you are thinking of traveling over, who should you book under? So you can book under the place close to where you're renting your accommodation. So Debbie will do much justice to that.
Okay.
You can start getting your questions ready. We're almost rounding up our talk, so we'll be taking your questions and we expand more on that. So yeah, Debbie, turn.
Okay. I was sponsored to the UK. So my trust, they paid for our exam and they were in charge of training every one of us. So we had the boot camp, and in the boot camp, that's where we got the basic training. And of course, they use the marking criteria. That's why I keep on emphasizing on the marking criteria, because it is
That's your Bible
that.
now. NMC Bible.
And I think every one of us, we were also accommodated. Yes, my trust, they did a really lovely job for us. So those of us that were on the same floor, we basically it got to a point when the exam was closed, we were having group discussion, and group discussion is one thing that's been very helpful for me. Victory can testify to that. Yeah, it's something that's been very helpful for me. So we had group discussion, we come together, and we were with our marking criteria. Yeah, that's why I keep on saying, I keep on talking about the marking criteria, because that's what.
Me, frankly, I printed my mapping criteria. I printed 2 copies
Wow.
so that when I finish writing on one, destroying it, I enter the second one. Like this, it was when somebody has told me that you will not pass. You will not take it as a challenge. I, anything you can do, yeah, you can do the bits you can do.
Yeah. So you just, because you really have to give it your best. So when we started the boot camp training, when we go to the boot camp, okay, my section was in the morning. We had 2 sections. We have the morning, we had the morning section, and we had the evening section. So I was in the morning section, and in the morning when I go to for my training in the boot camp, I come back and have a little bit of rest, because those of us that were on the same floor, we basically come together in the evening. So we take the marking criteria, and each person is assigned a procedure skill. So when you come to do the procedure, someone has the marking criteria. Someone has it, someone has a pencil. The part that you did not mention, the person is noting it down. As I told you, we were actually guided by that marking criteria. Yeah, so by the time
Yeah.
we're done, they will tell you, oh, you've done, because first thing, you must always applaud everybody's effort. So they'll tell you, oh, Debbie, you've done well. Oh, Prudence, you've done well. You've Bukola, you've done well. I'm talking about my friends that we all studied together. Those are their names.
However,
So you forgot to mention this. That's why it has to be word for word in your marking criteria. Yeah,
criteria.
that's how the exam is structured, and that is how you are expected to go and carry out your procedure on the day of your exam. And that is how you are also expected to prepare, because when you prepare that way, you go to the examination hall, you are going to do the same thing. You are not bringing your prior knowledge from wherever you're coming from. You are going to practice in line with how the NMC wants you to practice as a registered nurse in the UK, basically. So then when I have my own spare time, I also do some personal reading, because it's also necessary you do some personal readings yourself. So it was
Mhm.
back to back reading, back to back reading,
Yeah.
back to back reading. Of course, I never neglected the place of prayers. Yes, of course, that was also very necessary. I had faith in God. I prayed about it. I did my best, and I left the rest for God to handle. So it just, you practice, just like I said, you practice, you pray, you practice, you pray. PP. So that's how. So that was the guy. As much as possible. Even it got to time. I think they gave us free time during the boot camp as well. We also practiced. That's why I told you there were a lot of practice. I
Yeah.
Yeah, lot of practice. And when I was watching some of the videos on YouTube, I had my marking criteria. I
Yeah. Yes.
To be sure that it was whatever was being said was in line with what was in the marking criteria. So we did our best. You just have to give it your best. You have to practice. You even be going on the road, you'll be doing hand hygiene, palm to palm, fingers in. You just have to practice as much opportunity as you get. Yeah, you have to practice. You have to practice. When you come to the clinical area, trust me, those things you read, you just felt you ready for the exam.
It's gonna help
Very,
you stand out.
yeah,
Definitely, it's
it
gonna
has
help
been,
you stand out.
yeah, it has,
The allergies, knowing that if anything having penicillin, you shouldn't give.
yeah,
If somebody is having amoxicillin allergy, you can't give any
yeah,
coamoxiclav or any penicillin. So these are the things that it really helps you stand out. And somebody is asking that, what if I don't have somebody to practice with face to face? I'm like you. I didn't my the Anu I mentioned, God bless Anu. Anu was not living in the same because we were both from care home. So she was living in a far away city from mine. What we used to do is video.
yeah,
It's video. So we just call each other on WhatsApp, for instance, and you put the phone in one place that you show. And after you are done, you practice it like this. After you are done, she will start correcting you. And another thing is timing. Osce is timed. You have to be time conscious. So when you are practicing, you have to practice within, let's say, for instance, assessment is they give 20 minutes for assessment. Try to finish everything.
yeah,
Yeah. Within practice within 16, 18 minutes. So that no matter how what happened, if you will still finish within time. If you don't finish, it's a fail automatically. So that's why you need to practice with time as well. So that's one of those things we do. When she start, I'll just put the stopwatch. I was the most strict one. I'll just put the stopwatch. Then when you are done, you used time, or well done, or you overshoot your time, or you didn't pass. So she starts over all over again. And that's what are we still doing it today? So some things that just sacrifice for the time.
yeah.
So if you need to prepare for it, you need to prepare for it. Somebody was like, I'm preparing for receipting already. Why you've not written? No, like Debbie was saying when I was discussing with her, I said the money you will use to prepare for a receipt, use it to do private class with express intern services. You'll be able to understand what OSCE is. That even when they wake you up before you move to UK to write the exam, you already know what it is, and it was rooted. The reason why you will be able to learn very well from an online class is because you're a nurse already
Yeah.
and you have an idea. And somebody is asking, can someone from another course go on this journey? Yes, you can go on this journey, but it's going to take a while because you will need to get the nursing qualification first. The background is nursing. To become a UK registered nurse, you have to be a nurse, either in UK or overseas. For most of us, we are nurses overseas. Then it was just one simple exam that made us convert our certification from the Nigerian license to the NMCP now, moving like a UK registered nurse all over. See Debbie's face now. Debbie's looking Chinese. When she was in Nigeria, going through the university, she was not as fine as this. But now she's chopping money, good weather. The sun, the type of sun that beats her then is not beating her. So it's just sad. Sometimes you just have to pay that. Let me sorry. You just have to pay the sacrifice to get to what you want to achieve. There's so much you can achieve. You can even become a US registered nurse if you can pay that sacrifice to do NCLEX, if you can pay that sacrifice to do your IELTS, yeah, that's basically it. So there are 5 approved centers. I wrote in University of Northampton, Debbie wrote in Leeds. We also have Oxford, we have Ulster, and there is this Debbie, is it
Not,
not Sunbury?
yeah,
Yeah, so these are the 5 centers where you can write OSCE exams in the UK. So, like for the doctors, if you write PLAB, you write everything is in Manchester. This one is spread. So, there are different parts where you can write it. Me, I wrote in Northampton. I can speak for Northampton. They are very nice people. They are very nice people, but it's not really about the center. You pray that God will definitely give you someone who, I know when you have a bad assessor, somehow it spoils your mood. So to an extent, these persons were good. Debbie had wonderful assessors as well. And please, before you go for us here exam, try to do a mock. You can start
yeah,
rolling in your questions now. So with your questions, we can still touch the bits and pieces that we may not have mentioned. So if you're online, I can see we still have 19 people active on this call. So if you are online, please ask your question, drop a comment. Somebody said, thank you, guys. That's Mary. Mary, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Joy, Eva, everybody who has been active, Eva Becca. Yeah, we really wish you to get your OSCE very soon. Now, a common question which has not been asked on this platform, but it's been asked very well on my pages. And nothing's really coming overseas. Frankly, last week, is it last week or 2 weeks ago? Somebody I know landed in UK. And I was like, because it was common that it's such sponsorship that many persons are coming to the UK now. And she said no, she got job through track. I was like, wow.
Wow.
But she applied for a lot before she got that one. And when she got it, they gave her COS, but she paid for her visa.
Wow.
However, the visa will be refunded to her. So she's currently preparing for her Osce as we speak. So don't give up on that. I
Uh,
frankly, even me, I got this job. I got the job that brought me to the United Kingdom back in 2021 or 2022. And as at then, I applied for nearly 400 jobs. I got more than 200 unfortunate mails. What's 200 now? Up to 300 plus before I got one job.
mm,
Debbie have got her own job in 2023, there about, right?
yeah.
That Debbie got countless unfortunate mails. So it's not
Yeah.
uncommon to get, unfortunately. Unfortunately, feedback will not be provided. There'll be something. Unfortunately, if you have not been selected, and regrettably, feedback will not be provided. It's something that is common. You are not the first. Perhaps if you've gotten unfortunate mails and you are thinking, oh, I think it's high time I gave up on this. No, you shouldn't. Somebody just got a job that brought her, she's preparing for OSCE. You can try many of these trusts. I still heard that some trusts has began active recruitment on the ground. They are not coming out because of the red listing. So the red listing, some of them are saying because for you are from a red list country, we are not taking you, we are not bringing you over. But when you are in the UK, you pass the OSCE, your name is in the pin, they will take you.
Mm,
The majority of them will definitely take you. So that's why most people are considering the self-sponsorship route.
mm,
That route is quite expensive. However, you can save for it. You can get a loan. You can talk to your trusted family and friends. See, connection is very important. So when I mean connection now, it's not like, yeah, connection, relationship.
yeah.
The person that can help you are person that may be around you, but you've not spoken to them.
Mm,
Try, speak to them. So if like the OSCE exam is 794, is it? 794, right?
790.
For all the stations.
Yes.
So that if you're converting it to naira now, you're talking about 1 million plus thereabout. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're talking about 1 million plus, so you can speak to people. If you pass it, your name is actually in the UK register. When you have the PIN, because there are some jobs I check on Indeed, they say it's for people that have a United Kingdom registered
Yeah.
nursing PIN number.
Yes.
So all that exam is all you need waiting to get the PIN. So when you pass that, you pay for your PIN number, £153. You get the PIN number. The PIN number that's looking like a big thing is something you can achieve by yourself.
Yes.
So it was an advantage that some trusts were able to bring some of us, but you can't keep waiting. And the money you spend to do job applications, if you started saving it, maybe you'd have been able to use it to pay your flight or something.
Of course.
So don't just keep your hopes in one angle. Try to shoot your shot to other areas. Within the course of June, set your alarms. I'm still going to be hosting one of my boss or Type on this platform. So it's going to tell you much about the self sponsorship and what the team can offer you when it comes to self sponsorship, their loan services and everything. Something you can look forward to. They also provide accommodation services when you come to write your OSCE. So it's going to provide you with all of those. And trust me, it's very affordable. It's not something that is going to break your bank at all. It's not going to break your bank. So yeah, these are options you can explore even at this time. Don't give up. For me, at some point, I was tired of application. I sat there, but I just relaxed. Started again. I gave some persons money to apply for me. Thank God, God bless my husband as well. He did a lot of applications for me. I sent cold mails. Cold mail is you getting their number on track, getting their email address, and send. Now, there is a list of licensed sponsors. You know these ones. You can either use the list of licensed sponsors or ask your friend that came to UK, what's the name of your church? Okay, my church is Lead, or my church is not is East Anglia. Send East Anglia a mail telling them that you have this, you have that, or you are not a UK registered nurse, and see if they will not reply you.
Yeah.
Some of them will reply you, unfortunately, definitely, but not all. Some of them you may be lucky. Somebody got a job recently, not even self sponsorship. They brought her. Not just, I think there were about two of them that spoke to me that week. So I was like, what's happening? Something is happening now. There's light at the end of the tunnel, you get. So it's opening up. So this is the opportunity, and this is the reason why we are shooting out this video. Guys, shoot your shots. Don't be discouraged. Do the best you can. We can start taking your questions now. We can start taking, let me just scroll through the comment section. Okay, somebody is asking that any idea on how one can join the next Med Global Osce class? Yes, that OSCE class is something you should join. I beg you in the name of God. If you ever have thought that you want to relocate to the UK, as if you want to relocate to the UK and to work as a nurse, don't wait till you've passed all the exam. It's good you start building knowledge. And if you're actively preparing for it, please join as well. The good thing is it's a Telegram group. And you know what Telegram group does for you? The messages remain there. It's not deleted.
Yes.
So you'll be able to learn and unlearn and relearn, do everything you can. So to get to that OSCE class, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to attach a link to this. I'm going to attach a link to this video. After it's become live, I'll make it public as well. So that those, if you have a friend that could not join, then when it becomes public, they can do a rewatch. Just go to the description section and I will attach all the necessary link you need to join. Like I said, it's 50,000 naira. If you are coming through me and you are active on this live session, you are just going to be paying 30,000 naira in Nigerian naira. Then if you are paying in dollars, it's the equivalent as well. But if you are registered, somebody else, not you're not you are going to pay. Well, actually, 50K is nothing. How much did, if you know how much that you get to you pay to be trained? I know somebody that I coached one-on-one for Husky. Then I told her, I coached her one-on-one. She passed her first attempt, glory to God.
Yeah.
The only thing I asked her to do was that she should go for an assessment. That was before the express team. The express team makes a lot of things easy for people. God bless Mr. Otaibe and his whole team.
Yeah.
They are actually doing amazing things.
Of course.
Because I told her to do an assessment. That was last year. The person she had, we charged her over £500 just to do face-to-face mock exam. And you are getting it. Do you know what £500 is? Over a million. Close to ₦1 million. And you are getting it for 50,000 naira. That's actually applausive. So it's a giveaway. It's just their way of helping you because they believe they are people that have been helped by God to get access into this opportunity. It's just their give back to society. So don't take it that it's a big money to pay. It's not at all. And if you are coming through me, just if you click on the link, you can also reach them on WhatsApp. Tell them from Victory. There may be a unique code for you. Just check the description section, then you can pay your 30,000 naira to join the general class. But if you want more, you can do private class. If you have more questions, you can ask on this platform as well. Yeah, we'll be more than happy to help you. Let me see the next question. Somebody said, does each procedure have marking criteria? And how do we get to assess the marking criteria since the procedure are many and you don't know the one they will be asking for? Okay, Messi. First of all, each procedure have a marking criteria. Yes. So, for instance, like I told you, I printed mine. So this is mine. This is one copy of mine. I could just take this printed copy and dash it now. Yeah. So this is the printed copy of mine. Each procedure. So one of this page is just for one procedure.
Yeah.
So for this ANTT procedure, everything here is what they expect you to do. It's what they watch you do. Okay, so these are the things they expect you to do. These are the things they observe you do. These are the things they mark you do. Then each procedure has a marking criteria. Then the next marking criteria here is like blood glucose monitoring. So this one, they will just, it's all they need you to do when it comes to that station. So each of them have a marking criteria. Then the second one Messi asked was that since the procedures are many and you don't know the one they will be asking, they are not as many like that though. Okay, so they are not as many like that. And it's, I would still say I prefer it. I prefer the exam to the exam to the ones we used to write in Nigeria. I prefer this one. I don't know. I do. Because you know that this is the book. If I read everything here, my exam is sorted. You see, you know this foundation of nursing textbook, medical surgical nursing that is so big and you're reading you want to read everything. To go and write nursing council exam, you come back, you didn't even see what you read inside. Even the summary they will do for you. The answer, the summary they will give you, you find out that you will even find the question in the summary. But this one is just how many pages, and you find everything you are writing. That's a giveaway for me. I'll call it a giveaway. So the last question Messi is asking here is, how do we assess the marking criteria? We have a bit of it. I have mine. Debbie has hers. Debbie wrote after me, so hers is more updated, and I have the updated one, the same she has. We have that. So If you join the express global class, you have more than enough materials.
Yeah.
You have access to some of the marking schemes as well. But when you book the exam, the test center will give you, but you don't need to wait till you book the exam because you need to prepare before you book it. So just use the description box, reach out to us. You have my handles on Instagram, on Facebook. You find everything in the description box. So while it's there, you can reach out to us and I'll be able to provide you one. And to explain more so that it don't become bizarre, make sure you booking for that express class. Then somebody said, can we get the recordings? Yes, of course. It's Julie, we can get the recording. When we are done with this, it's gonna go private, but I'll make it public so that those who are not active now can join. And Messi is also asking, do you know any organization that offers loan that one can I, I don't find money tire. Oh dear. Yes, I know of an organization that offers loan. They'll be coming online. Just stay tuned on this channel so they will tell you they will tell you much about their offers. And if you reach out to me on my social media pages, I will send you their handle as well. Somebody said, if I'm going on a set sponsorship, how long can I prepare for OSCE before sitting for the exam, in your opinion? How long can I prepare for OSCE? I love this question. So, first of all, I will ask myself, how long did I prepare for OSCE? OSCE in 2 months. And that was because I wasn't focused on it. I was doing every other thing. I didn't get be prepared for OSCE in less than 1 month. Yeah.
I think we started our boot camp. I think we started ending of July. Then
Yeah.
my OSCE in August. Yes.
Okay.
I
Ending of so she wrote almost in just 1 month. That was her preparation. Now,
think,
if you are focused on it and you start with the express team, if you give yourself 2 months, you'll be rooted and grounded in all the nitty-gritty of what is needed to pass your skill exam. So, in my honest opinion, if you are serious, you can, but just give yourself at least 2 months. You can get over it within 2 months, but
mm,
within that time, you get to familiarize yourself with a lot, do the marking criteria, rehearse. So it becomes part of you. Like Debbie said, it's not just about coming to write the exam, it's coming to adapt yourself with the practice in United Kingdom.
yeah.
When, for instance, I used to give subcutaneous injection in Nigeria, and here they have a procedure. When there's one needle, they say you have to give it. Subcut, all the ones we give majorly is just 45 degree, and they say that one, if you're using that needle, you give it at 90 degree.
90 degrees. Yes.
So you have to get yourself familiar.
I mean,
The
yeah.
part you need to clean. There are times when they say don't clean, and you need to know that their own practice is updated. It's
Of,
evidence based, so
of
it's updated. There are many things you do you don't need to do. And if you carry, somebody was saying something about tourniquet. Let me read that comment. Say if up till now person never see how tourniquet be. If person go abroad, make person no call dream set. That's funny. Who was that, Joy? Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
you actually see nice tourniquet abroad. And the express team as well, when you do your mock exam with them, when you do your mock exam with the express team, you'll be able to see real tourniquet there. So that's the advantage. So you do your hands-on, you see everything real. And so don't worry. And that's funny. It's been a long time then I saw people using drip
Exactly.
set tourniquet. Oh god. It's good to be in UK.
Oh God.
It's good to be in UK, actually. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Let me see any other question that somebody is asking. Somebody said Nurse Debbie is plucking money. Oh dear. Amen. Nurse Debbie, share the money. Somebody said good preparation will chase away fear. I agree with that.
Yes, of
Is
course.
getting a job 100% after passing? Okay, that's another question. Getting a job may not be 100% after passing, but
Mm,
it's 90%. And 90% is a good one.
a good one. Yes, of course.
Preference is a very good one. So when you get the job and you get your pin, it won't take you 1 year after passing. It won't take you as long as it's taking you now before you get the job.
Yeah.
Gives you an advantage. So you need to know that. Let me see other questions that have been asked. There's some exams in Nigeria, even with the textbook, you won't know. Okay, I think that's a comment. So if I'm not taking your question, please copy it and repaste it again. Because I think pray and study Kingsword said that. Okay, we've answered that as well. Thank you for all that saying thank you to us. We really appreciate you as well. It's the least we could do. It's the least we could do.
Yeah.
Frankly, I used to tell people, I said, if I was an employer, I would employ everybody. I would give all my subscribers sponsorship to come to UK because there's this joy in my heart when I see you guys are selling. I'm not doing this. YouTube is not even paying me yet. Maybe one day they will, but my zeal is that I want people to really I want you to achieve your goals. I know how coming abroad, despite the odds, I know how it's changed my life.
Mm,
There's so much that we can there's so much, seriously. It's changed my life a whole lot. Just imagine how much would I have saved to give birth to a child in UK. And I gave birth to my child in UK for free. There's just so much. It's changed my life. So
mm,
that's my passion, sharing immigration update and looking for tips and pieces that can help you to ace yours as well. Somebody saying, for someone that wants to write at the end of the year, is it wise to start tutorial classes that will be for a month and then the date of your exam is still far? It's still very wise, my dear. It's
yeah.
still very wise. That's the class. Like I said, if you want to, but it gives you time to learn, unlearn, relearn, get used to it. The
Exactly.
earlier you start, so because you have volume of time, it becomes inside your subconscious. I remember when I was preparing for IELTS, I used to wear this headset. I keep listening to podcasts. I attended express class for IELTS and it was very helpful. So I will listen to the audios. At some point, he became part of it. When the audio is playing, I know what Sao Taibe wants to say next because I've listened to it over and over again. But did it not help me get my band 8 in peace? It helped me get my band 8 in IELTS. So that's the essence of it. If you have the class, the next class is coming in July. If you plan to write at the end of the year, July, August, the classes will span through that July is till August. So when it spans at that time, you have September to do revision. You have November to ask questions, to do more research, to digest the marking criteria. And
Mm,
then when you are booking, in when you are in the flight, you feel like an Osce assessor, not even a student. When you are in your flight coming to the UK, that you feel like the assessor, you'll be very, very confident. So, do we still have any question? Okay, somebody is asking that are there direct plugs for this job application after passing the exams? Yes, there are more reliable plugs for job application. Like there are some links I've seen, frankly. I like sharing links with people on my YouTube community page. But there are some links I've seen that I couldn't share out because they are saying need to have a pin. So if there are many links on Indeed, it's as if it's so weird that you've been looking for jobs and you've been getting unfortunate mail and you just pass an exam and you get what is called the pin and everybody is coming to send you job offers. They are rushing you. So yeah, it's more common. If you have any questions, you can put it. So we are coming to the end now. We'll be wrapping this up. Thank you everyone for joining. If you've not liked this video, kindly give this video a like. Like this video on YouTube. I beg you. One of the advantages of liking this video is that it makes YouTube recommend it to other persons to be of help too. If
mm,
you know anyone who you think that this video will really benefit, please share with them. Make sure you share with them. Don't skip it. Share with them. I make provision for 1 gig data for all nurses who genuinely need the information. If you still want that, but provided you're in Nigeria, because my plug is in Nigeria. So if you are within Nigeria and you need to get this information, you can also get yeah, it's still much available for you. But you have to be a nurse who is willing and you genuinely need this information. So you can reach out to me on my social media handles. Do well to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and the likes. Can you guys say thank you to Nurse Debbie for dishing out this lovely information that money cannot buy today? And we are doing all this for free. So the only thing you can say is to say thank you to my lovely guests, Nurse Debbie. Thank you so much, Nurse Debbie. The
thank
oil
you.
on your head. We never run dry, just as they say in NSPPD. We never run dry. Let me
Hey.
see if we have more questions. Okay, we have three rolling up at the same time. Okay, somebody saying if I could do a video on how to avoid a visa denial. Definitely, okay, I'll consider that. I'll put that on my And if I'm going on the self sponsor, so what that's settled, I'll do it for you. And for anyone who needs. So they're saying thank you, God bless you. God bless you, Nurse Debbie. Doctor is saying thank you, nurses. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, guys. I'll just give 1 minute more. Let's see if anybody will ask their question. But the window is still open. The window is still open. If you perhaps you're doing a replay of this video, you have a question, use the comment section. You see Debbie smile like this. Debbie will give you, she's able to answer and unanswer, and yeah. So we do justice to that. It's the least we can do. Like we said, if you give me 2 hours to tell you about ski, I will still have things to say. Definitely. And by God's grace, one of my niches is teaching. And I have a Debbie is a senior partner. Like she's
Ah,
senior to me in this niche. So yeah, it was a pleasure having Debbie on this. Oh, somebody is saying denial a live chat. Okay. I understand that the advantage of having a live chat is people are able to ask their questions and the likes. I'll consider that. I'll consider that. But if it's not possible, I'll still do a video on that. So that's it for Owa. I'll try to do that for you. And if you have anything you feel you're struggling with, you can visit. That's the advantage of subscribing to the YouTube channel. On the community page, you can give a comment. I'm always there on that community page because I'm very particular about my community. So
mm,
if you tell me you need something there, I'll try as much as possible to see how I can help. Faith is online. Faith Imonite, I acknowledge you. That's my dear nurse, is a friend and a junior colleague too. Thank you guys for joining. And lastly, we really wish you all the best in your OSCE preparation. We wish you all the best in becoming a UK registered nurses. We've been UK registered nurses for 2 years, a year plus now, and we've not regretted it. It's a blessed journey. It gives you the opportunity to practice with brilliant minds all over the world, different races. You practice with the whites, you practice with the Asians. You hear different accents. You hear the annoying and the sweet accent. You work with the good, bad, and ugly. Okay, it's part of it, but it's the fun of life that you
yeah,
get to relate with a lot of persons. So please, in all sincerity, try to be serious with this journey. If you need any help regarding, I'm happy to help to the best of my capacity. So
yeah.
always reach out to me on my social media handles. Debbie is quite quiet. Don't disturb her too much on social media. Then I think it's almost passion and prayer I did it to make sure that Debbie comes on this page because she's quite loaded, but yeah, she doesn't like that call. But thank God we were able to get her here to give us all that is within her treasures. Yeah. Thank you again for joining. I'm going to be ending this session now. So if you have any question, make sure you ask as well. Share to as many persons you know it will be of help to. I will see you all in my other videos. Thank you, Debbie. For the meantime, stay blessed. Bye, guys.
Thank you.